Hey, what's going on, AJ?
Check.
Wait, well, Jesus.
Check my. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Mhm.
You know, man,
Yeah.
it was gonna be.
Mhm.
It seemed like it was gonna be a pretty slow month, which is usually part of the course. Part of the course.
Par for the course.
Par for the course. Thank
Uh-huh.
you.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what would I do without you. But then on the 18th day, Sony saith to thee, "Let there be games." I'm a happy camper, man. I'm happy right now. In case you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I'm a pretty happy
Doing
camper
well.
too. I mean, like between like the big Zenith Wonder release date, right? There was like Sam and Max and a bunch of other stuff we don't talk about. And
Crap. Well,
yeah.
Republic was good. I freaking love Republic.
Oh yeah, we just had
Great
Republic.
interview, by the way. Make sure everyone goes check out that interview. That's a damn good interview.
Thanks.
Ryan
Yeah,
Payton's awesome, man.
the Patreon, the video that was exclusive to Patreon for a few days is now live on the channel. You can check out my conversation with Ryan Payton. He definitely, he's pretty transparent dude, man. He talks about a lot of stuff. Also, we do have, if you watch the Moss video, that full conversation with Cooley Callahan is up on Patreon right now. Remember, patreon.com/withoutparolegames. Appreciate you guys, especially during this slow time, keeping the channel running 24/7, man. That's why I sit here trying to make this shit for you. And I appreciate all of your love. Dude, does it look like, does this thumbnail make it look like Joyway has solved our mouse problem?
Which thumbnail? What? The thumbnail in the video?
Yeah.
Does it look like they've solved the mouse problem? Hey,
look at this mouse infestation, man. It's like, let's pull out
Quill's
some
gonna whip out
handguns.
that sword and block and deflect all those things. Quill's a badass, man.
Pop. All right, man, let's start the show.
Let's go.
This is PSVR Gamescast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on YouTube. We're doing it live, man. 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, I guess, daylight time. It's really ridiculous. I know that throws the rest of the world off a little bit. It's an hour earlier for some of you. Thank you so much for tuning in and being here. We love you oh so very much. If you don't want to watch this live, that's totally cool. You can watch it on YouTube later after the fact, or you can check us out on podcast services of your choice. My name is Brian Powell from this channel right here, PSVR Without Parole, and this guy over here from the Underground. It's AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
Thank you, man. I worry about, I changed my name to PSVR Underground when PlayStation Underground wasn't really a thing anymore. And then I guess I got beef. I got beef with the mothership.
I feel like they're gonna have some beef with you.
I think their lawyers are a little bit better than mine. I'm waiting for that cease and desist. No, man. Happy Friday! What a happy Friday indeed it is, my friend. What is up, Game Cats? How's everybody doing? I see all of you. Geisson, fist bump to you. So good to see all of you. Something's flying in my house. Sorry.
Was it a ghost?
I don't know. I don't know what it was, like a gnat or something. I don't know. Something rare.
I have like one thing flying around here, and Tornado's obsessed with chasing it, but not killing it for some reason. It's so super tiny. Emily Baxter, hashtag the cartoony witch game kit with $2 tips says cartoony games suck. Okay, now the weekend can be in. So you just had to get that off of your chest. I totally understand. It's like sometimes you just need to air your grievances so that then you can enjoy the rest of the day, the rest of the night, the rest of the weekend. We're so happy you're able to do that. I wonder how low I can go. How low can you go? That's about it. Dude, we've got a bunch of shit to talk about today. Everything from Zenith to Stride to Moss. But first, man, those Patreon supporters are super duper helpful. They keep this channel up and running. You guys are amazing. But there is a different group of people that we want to thank specifically every Friday. Isn't that right?
That's right. It is Friday. You can support us by changing your name to something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you and something Gamecat adjacent like to say. And this week, we have 2 new Gamecats to welcome to the Gamecat Dojo. Starting with OMG like cotton candy, rainbow sprinkles, .yk bro, Gamecat.
Bing. So, dude, do you remember on one of the last episodes, somebody was saying it's Cotton Candy's birthday?
Yes, kill artist.
This is cotton
Kill Artist's
candy.
daughter.
This is cotton candy. This is Kill Artist's daughter. This is I had no idea during that show they were referring to a person because the happy birthday thing has gotten way out of control, and I had no idea that we were talking about a real person. So happy birthday to Kill Artist One's daughter, and congratulations on your new profile, new profile name, which obviously you only had.
And
to,
happy belated birthday again, for sure.
Yes, indeed. Who else we got?
We've also got serial killer, the daylight saving game cat. Oh, you taunt me. Bing. I'm still mad about that. Now, although some people were saying that even though Congress or whatever passed this thing to like keep daylight savings or whatever it is as it is, that's not going to go into effect till like next year or something. So we get, I think, from, if I'm not mistaken here, I don't keep up with a lot of politics except for like some of the really important ones. I think we get one more fallback. And I really wish this daylight savings change, permanent stay or whatever, would go into effect after the fallback. Because I'm not a fan of the spring forward.
Is that not what you just said? It would go into effect after the fallback?
Well, I think it would be next year, but I don't know if that's before or after the spring forward. It all depends on that. The entire world depends on it being.
It's a stupid tradition. We need to get rid of it. It's really, really dumb. Neon Groove saying Brian being all creeping. That's what I'm doing, man. Guys, don't forget, if you want to show your support for the channel in a different way other than financially, we 100% endorse that. All the loyal viewers of this channel are called the Game Cats. So if you change your name, like Serial Killer and Cotton Candy did this week, make sure you put hashtag GameCat somewhere in the comments, not in the chat, somewhere in the comments below, so we can give you a shout out on next Friday's show. We love you so much. You're amazing. Joseph Paul Jr. with the $5 tip says, before we get into the topics, I'm so glad that your segues are better than AJ's. Werewolves Within is on sale. I really need some players to play with. Great game with too small of a player base. Let me tell you something, Joseph Paul Jr. I'm so glad you brought that up because our Discord is an amazing place to get multiplayer games together. And especially sometimes Professor Lilith has those Sunday multiplayer meetups going on. I mean, always, but that's not the point. Is sometimes it's Werewolves Within. I think you don't want to play Werewolves Within with randoms. So because it's just, you got to make sure you like the people you're playing with.
A lot more fun with friends. It's like any party game. It's one of those, it's a very unique party game for VR. Party games are not something we have an abundance of, and we're used to like stuff like Mario Party or I can't think of, Jack in the Box, but something like that. But the Jack's Party Pack.
You don't know Jack?
You don't know Jack. Thank you. Yeah. Which are great games. I actually am a big fan of party games. Yep. And, Werewolves Within was really cool because it was like one of the first like VR kind of party games, but it's so different, yeah, man, good game. I'd sure like to play it again. I've had a blast playing it before with the cats.
Yeah, if we don't have a room specifically dedicated to Werewolves Within on the Discord right now, just tag me or one of the moderators, and we can make that happen like super fast, and that way you can like take charge of that room and get a group together and see who's around. The game's super fun. We got Looper the Game Cat with the €5. Says the official PSVR 2 page mentions genre-defying games. Is that a hint at possible ports of some classic flat screen games? Maybe. Which flat screen games are you referencing specifically, Looper? It could mean a lot of things.
I check that PSVR 2 page like every morning. For those who don't know, the PlayStation website has an actual PlayStation VR 2 tab now. They've updated it with the headset and the controllers and everything, and it's got all that stuff there. They haven't really advertised for it yet, though, probably because they're not obviously not done with PlayStation VR 1 just yet, but genre-defying games. I think that's probably just a broad term, meaning that it's going to be a lot of new cool shit that we haven't seen before.
It's just some... Oops. Wow, the GameCat intro is still going. Oh, there we go. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, no, I think that's PR speak for like, you have no idea what you're in for. Like, they don't fucking know, man. It's like, I think I think for the first couple of years, it's going to be genres we've definitely seen before. It's like, sir, this is defy any genre, right? This is definitely a first-person shooter. This is definitely a party game. This is an RPG. This is this. Yeah.
It's just PR speak for that. Yeah. Instead of pressing a button to slash a sword, now you can physically move your arm and interact with stuff in the world. And
genres. Nice. All right. So we should probably move on, man. What's our first news story of the day, AJ? Let's get this going.
Our first news story is that Ramen VR has closed a 35 million Series B round led by Anthos and Dune, which are investors. Basically, this comes directly from the Zenith blog on their website. You want me to run through it real quick?
Let's do it.
They say, at launch, Zenith was the top-selling game across multiple platforms, beating out pre-orders for Elden Ring and sales of Dying Light, God of War, and Beat Saber. You guys have been playing the game for almost 2 hours each day, and there are hundreds of thousands of you at this point. Investors were really excited by that, so we decided to raise some capital to help us get to the future quicker. We were both humbled and overwhelmed by the reception to our launch in January. We became the #1 selling game on Steam, not just for VR, but for and a top-selling title on PlayStation VR. True story. 2 months in a row now, as well, which is really.
I mean, I'm happy for them, right? I'm very, very happy for them, but not exactly the hardest nut to crack, right? It's like nothing's selling over here.
That is hard. That is hard. That's really. Look. Yes, that doesn't maybe mean the highest number count of sales, but to get anything on that top 10 downloaded list, if you're not Beat Saber, if you're not Super Hot, Job Simulator, or Swordsman, that is really, really difficult to do. So, yes, I agree with you, but also, credit where credit's due, We quickly made all of our development costs back and are now profitable. But with this cash infusion, we can be even more ambitious. This funding means we will probably double or triple our team size in the next few years and double down on Zenith. We can bring on world-class team members that have built the most successful gaming franchises and VR games of the past 10 years. But don't worry. We will work hard to preserve the culture that got us to this point. Do right by the player is and continues to be our credo. We've said for a long time now that this is the only game we're going to work on, and that continues to be the case. This funding will allow us to not only build out the core of Zenith, but also accelerate our efforts to bring and bespoke and tailored mobile and desktop experiences to the game as well. Even if we expand our team, though, our focus continues to be polishing the overall experience of Zenith and adding tons of new leveling and endgame content. P.S. We'll never sacrifice VR immersion for the sake of being cross-platform. Be prepared to see more worlds in Zenith soon. We've also got some amazing investment partners, including Anthos Capital and Dune Ventures, with additional investment from Makers Fund and personal investments from Andrew Chen and James Gwartzman, general partners at Andreessen Horowitz. Thanks, Andy. P.S. You can't do PS twice. PS, we're hiring across all major disciplines: design, art, engineering, and operations.
That would be PPS.
End scene. Right? End scene.
Right. I mean, that's a lot of words to say they got a lot of money. But I think there's a few good takeaways from that, right? I think the most important takeaway from that for me is that obviously all this money is going towards this game. This is the only game they're working on. And of course, that they're talking about new worlds. They're not just talking about making the existing gameplay better for new players, right? Because that's sort of what they did up to this point. It looks like they're going to be expanding and making this world better for the players who are already at the level cap, who've already seen the end game, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, man. Definitely, they did say that they're going to focus on polishing and building out the core content of the game, and as well as adding end game content. And I think to keep the player base around, those are the two main things they need to focus on, because they have an amazing foundation for what the game is right now. What they launched with is a really strong foundation for an MMO. I've compared it to like vanilla WoW in the past, and yeah, now that you guys have had your hands on it, you can see what I mean by that. Like I wasn't really exaggerating. It is a large game, but it could use some polish and some more content in certain areas, which they've already started working on. And yeah, really excited about this game. I love this game. and really excited about their future. And I hope this speeds up the process. Even though this is probably going to be like over the course of years, we'll probably be playing on PSVR 2 by this point. But when it's like, even larger, but yeah, they have a promising start and a promising future.
For sure. There's already so much to do in Zenith. You're definitely getting your $30 worth. Maybe a couple times over. It's a really, really great game. That is going to be the key for survival. Is really making sure that there's always something new to do. That there's always, new places to see, new quests to conquer. Sorry, sirens on my end as always. And so
new sirens to conquer,
new sirens to take down. So this is obviously great news. We've definitely seen some really great games come out, and then they sort of just get left to die because either not enough people bought them, or the teams just weren't able to continue running. So seeing that they've had some massive success is really, really great. And I think this could, because of their head start, because they've got a year head start before PSVR 2 even comes out. I think that means it could potentially be like a really super distracted. I'm sorry. Like it's just nothing but sirens over here. This could be, they could come out of the gate swinging with PSVR 2 and just really, really be like, hey man, for anyone who took a break from VR, anyone who's jumping over the Quest or whatever, and just really like a really polished experience right from the get go. So it's exciting, man. I'm really happy for them.
Yeah, for a lot of MMOs in the future that are planning to come, they've got some stiff competition right off the bat. They've got a big head start over the competition, so good for them.
Yeah, especially when you consider that console MMOs could potentially be hybrid games, right? And you like start mixing and matching those player bases.
Yeah,
they could have some stiff competition for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Like if there's like a PS5 version, and then a PSVR 2 version, and then Quest 2, Quest 3, PC. Yeah, they've got a nice foundation going.
Like here's Final Fantasy 14, A Realm Reborn, VR. It was like, whoa.
Right.
It's like, you know what? Who's playing Zenith anymore? This is interesting, man. One of the things that happened this week, a little unexpectedly, was that StarTenders. I think our headline probably would have been StarTenders today. I think that was what we were planning on. It was supposed to come out, I believe, yesterday, and it got delayed. Only on PlayStation VR. It is definitely out on other platforms, but not over here on PlayStation VR. AJ, what are your thoughts on this delay?
My thought was I was going to look up and say what are people saying about this, because it released on other platforms, right?
Yeah, let me go. I can head over.
I don't see any reviews. Well, I see one person, but I don't know if I need some solid reviews here.
This is interesting. On the Steam page, it says release date, and it says when we get this teleporter fixed. So, did it not release on Steam? Here, let's see what happens.
Release date when we get this teleporter fixed. I thought the game was being released. Yeah, I don't know.
There's some reviews out there. 6 degrees of reviews.com. So it calls StarTenders brilliant.
Good. Did you know I found out Blessing Adeoye Jr. has a voice in this from Kind of Funny Games?
Really?
Yeah, I found out. I just saw them tweet about it. But I know these people. I know these developers are actually going to be at GDC, Foggy Box Games. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I've been talking to them, and yeah, they basically said it's been being delayed, and yeah, I don't know. Not sure why or what happened, but it sounds like the game is in working order. So maybe a cert thing, but it sounds like they have a little bit something more to do.
Yeah, like I kind of at this point when only the PlayStation VR version gets delayed, or I don't know what's up with Steam. It's interesting. They say it usually comes down to certification, and sometimes you don't find that out until way too close to release date, and so you just don't have an opportunity to get it fixed in time because the cycle takes a long time. You get the game back from Sony, you have to make your changes, you send it back to them, and it's like a week and a half before you see your game again and find out if everything went okay.
But anyways, we'll be. Oh.
From this 6DOF review, the summary is StarTenders is an absolute best in class for the time management genre on the Quest platform and probably in VR as a whole. I like that probably. Like we don't know about anything on the other platforms. We're just assuming. With a perfect blend of well-delivered mechanics, fun and intuitive gameplay, and a charming sense of characters, Startenders is a must-own for genre enthusiasts. They gave the concept an 8.
We'll be the judge of that.
Gameplay an
It looks fun.
8.5, graphics an 8.5, audio an 8, longevity 7.5. So their only con in the pros and cons column was no online multiplayer. It's pretty interesting, man. Pretty interesting.
I don't know what. Yeah, didn't strike me as a multi. Why would you put a con as something? Why would you put a con as no multiplayer for a game that's not advertised as a multiplayer game?
Because people, I don't know, people want stuff, and and at this point, I sort of see it on every single game when people are like, "Oh, Saints and Sinners." The only thing I don't like about it doesn't have online multiplayer.
Wouldn't if you're reviewing Saints and Sinners, I wouldn't put that as a negative, like to lower the score. But anyways, that's fine. We'll be keeping an eye on this, and looking forward to checking it out when it gets here.
Oh yeah, I think we probably got another month or so ahead of us.
Wow. Okay, that's a while. So the other game that we had that was there's a new game that's been announced coming to PlayStation VR, and this conversation might get a little bit interesting, so strap in. There is a fitness app on Quest, I believe, or something. It is called Supernatural VR. And apparently Brian was unhappy about it being called Supernatural VR.
So, I mean, obviously, if you could make a game called Supernatural VR, I would really, really hope that there is some supernatural horror element to this game, and I don't think there is, because if you see this trailer over here next to me, nothing scary about this shit. It's a bunch of people working out in virtual environments, throwing fists, meditating, dude. Talk about a misleading title. This is the worst title you could possibly have for a game.
It's like I said, very angry about it.
Not happy about this at all.
It gets worse. So, I like the idea of using VR for fitness. For a lot of people, it works. And, we've had stuff like Box VR, which was, from your experience, from some of the cats' experience, like Ripop, have told me that they love it as a workout, to add it to their workout regimen. But there's a little bit of a difference with this game, though, that even has me a little bit skeptical whether or not it's even going to make it to us. But that is, this game has a monthly fee to it. We've had some apps. There was one called Trip VR, and I'm pretty sure you just buy the game, and it was like $20, which I was like, that's a bit much. But they did release updates to it, and it was a relaxing thing. Sounds like this game might be $20 a month.
Yeah, if you go to the website, it says plans start as low as $15 a month. I think it's too many of these fitness app developers try to say, well, if you're going to pay like $20 a month for the gym, well, here you go. You get the gym without even leaving your house. And so this is fair. And you are going down the wrong path here. Box VR was a flat price, and that's why it sort of worked. Because I'll tell you something,
right.
Box VR wasn't that good. There was only a couple of environments, and what was there was fine for like $20 or $30, whatever. But it was glitchy, and it had its share of problems, and it never got addressed. And so if we were paying a monthly fee for that, we would have been fucking irate about it. We'd have been so mad, because it's like you got to I don't know. If you're paying a monthly fee, it better be perfect. And there's just no reason for it at all. And actually, when Box VR switched over to Fit XR on other platforms, it went horribly. It went horribly. Nobody liked the subscription model. Nobody was interested. And that's why we never got the Fit XR model over here on PlayStation, because they're like, well, no one wants this. We got to figure out something different. And so this is a failed business model that they're following. And I can't imagine this going well.
Me neither. And I have no interest in it either. I'd be more interested if it was a one-time fee. But yeah, I agree with Zack Attack. This model needs to die. It's a marketing ploy. It's really, yeah. It's gimmicky. Like I said, even Trip VR, which is kind of like this same kind of model, and Box VR, both of these do this, but they're a one-time fee, and that's it. And we were supposed to get Fit XR, which is the updated version of Box VR, and I think it was like a monthly thing, right? And that never actually happened. So I don't even know if Sony's going to allow this game to even come to us.
But that wasn't the reason. Like I just said, the reason we didn't get Fit XR wasn't because of the monthly fee. We didn't get it because it was a failed concept. No one liked it, right? And
Gotcha.
so and I get gym memberships. Like I understand it. I have a gym membership, but there's something different about that, right? You leave the house, you go somewhere. It's like you're in that spot for an hour. Like it's just a completely different experience all around. And it's an actual physical location. They're trying to say, oh, new workouts every day, and justify it that way. No, I don't care about new workouts every day, man. Like I don't pay for a personal trainer at my gym, right? I don't need new workouts every day. You just give me the tools, and give me 50 songs and in a few different workouts, and I will take care of it every day. I don't need that much variety when it comes to VR fitness. I got this shit covered, man. Just charge me $30-$40 if you really want to go on the high end and absolutely ditch the subscription model. This is ridiculous. We don't need daily routines at all.
Yeah. Unless you want to bring a pool to my house and bring one of those cool saunas with the minty stuff, the Vicks Vapor Rub smelling stuff. What is that called?
Vicks Vapor Rub.
I can't remember. Well, there's an actual thing. I can't remember the name, but anyways, so stupid. Not looking forward to this and don't care. Go buy Box VR or
not even ones. Just play more Beat Saber or play
or play something fun that gives you a workout.
Firebird Old School with the 100 Sekiros says, bring on the GameCast horde into the stream. Firebird Old School has some ideas for what GameScast should be, and maybe at some point we'll talk about that publicly. We also got Donatello the Scientist Gamecat with the $5 tip. Says, I find it interesting that Supernatural is owned by Meta. The speculation about why it is coming to PSVR. Hashtag FTC probe. Is it? They're owned by Meta? I didn't even realize that, honestly. I don't know, man. I'd be
really interested to see if this actually makes it here.
Yeah. I mean, Beat Games is owned by Meta, too. And so, I'm not going to stop Meta. That is such a stupid name. They're owned by Facebook. Facebook owns Beat Games. So,
well, it came to PlayStation first, though.
Yeah, but still.
Dang it, man. I'm getting called out now.
What's up?
Nothing. Go ahead. Read the next tip.
Oh, come on. You're probably just going to be typing in the chat instead of paying attention to whatever I'm saying. So just say it out loud.
I pay attention to everything.
Looper, the Underground Game Cat with the €5 says, it's confirmed. AJ doesn't listen to what Brian says at all. Oh, look at that. The whole Fit XR take is literally what Brian said seconds before. Listen, man, I say this shit constantly, and no one feels like, oh, AJ's great. And I'm like,
got me red-handed this time.
Yep. Constantly.
You won't catch me again, okay?
Gingerbread man. All right, man. Let's stop talking about shit no one cares about and start talking about shit that maybe more people care about. And that is some amazing news that we got today after a super crazy long delay and multiple. I was going to say delays again. Multiple delays. We finally got a release date for Stride, which is coming to PlayStation VR next week on March 24th. AJ, how excited are you about Stride?
Well, I was listening to all that. March 24th, Stride is coming. I am super duper excited, man. Now, this is I think more in line with the original game where, they have some big plans for this game that look amazing. Like story mode, graphical overhaul, lots of new stuff. This is just more like the 3 modes, arcade modes, that it seems like that has the endless, the time run, and arena. I believe so. Which is still fine for me. This is going to give you the core gameplay experience. And man, I'm a big fan of Sprint Vector to the top. I love physical games like this. I don't like them all the time, but it's been a minute since we've had a fun, fluid gameplay style physical game. And yeah, man, this is parkour. This mixes it's basically Mirror's Edge in VR, and that is freaking cool.
Yeah, it's basically Mirror's Edge in VR. That's, I guess, a good way to put it, And of course, I think, like AJ sort of talked about already, when it gets here, it's going to be pretty shallow, right? I don't know if it's going to be $15, $20, what the deal is. I don't know what the pricing model is going to be, but I really hope that they explore that a little bit, because honestly, it's on Steam Early Access right now, and it's only got the 3 time modes. Right, the 3 challenge modes, and I think when people jump in there, like, oh, that's all this is, and I think they'll really enjoy the gameplay mechanics and how it all works. But I feel like it's really just training us for when they actually drop the campaign on us or the multiplayer and all that. So they've got big plans for this game, but as is, it's kind of on the basic side. But if you like testing yourself and chasing leaderboard scores and doing that and just replaying the same time trials over and over again, I think that's going to be a pretty good audience for this. A lot of people really like it the way it is. So even though it sounds like I'm downplaying it significantly, I don't think it's, I think it's still in a pretty good place for launch.
The top review in the past 90 days says recommended. It actually has very positive reviews overall. And the top review is just all caps and says, Mirror's Edge.
Yeah.
There's also another one. These are great reviews, by the way. There's another one that says, "Jump guy, go shot." The reviews are really, these are the best reviewers out there, Brian.
This is the banana cutter or the banana holder reviews of Steam. Have you ever seen that on Amazon?
Banana cutters?
Banana cutter, I think banana holder.
Reviews?
I think search for banana holder on Amazon and look at the search results. Look at the customer reviews.
Sure.
It is
okay.
Just side-splittingly funny. They just like finally have a way to hold my banana. Yeah, it's pretty funny, man.
Finally, a way to hold my banana.
Yep. I think that's what it is. I think there's a banana cutter one too that's funny, but maybe not as funny. But yeah, man, Stride, like this has been a long time coming, and it's one of those that I think some people had sort of lost hope for, because it's just like delay after delay after delay. So it sort of started ending up in the same boat as Dash Dash, and we're going to be getting to that point with a few other titles soon enough too. But it's just like, man, like what the fuck's been going on? And it does seem like it was stuck in Sony certification for the last few months. So I don't know what trouble they had leading up to that. But that seems like the trouble they had recently. Twitcher says banana hammock. I think that was enough to distract the chat. Some of the
banana holder reviews, they say, "By the gods, this thing holds some bananas." Another one says it holds bananas, keeps them from going bad for quite a while. One says elegant and sturdy. I can tell you with 1,000% certainty that this is a sturdy banana tree. Yeah.
Well, we've certainly gone down the banana hole now.
Yeah. I'm just going to be reading these for the rest of the review, rest of the Gamescast. Anyways.
Right on. The chat's going to miss you. Like, sorry, guys. AJ's not reading your comments anymore. I'll do my best and ignore AJ in the process.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the kind of, this game did originally release early access, and this is like the polished, most fleshed out early access version that we're probably getting, right?
Yeah.
I hope it controls well. I'd imagine it will. And I hope it, as long as it performs well, like runs well and is pretty fluid to play. I know the moves can be a challenge for a lot of developers, but like there is a way that works for most games. I mean, if you can play Sirento and it feel freaking amazing, then you can pretty much play anything.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this works with the move controllers. It doesn't seem like the kind of game that like even in VR I'd be wanting to turn around and like, because next thing I know, dude, I play Walkabout and this bookshelf over here gets beat the fuck up, right? Because every so often I'll just like turn and like or try to take a swing and just slam my hand against it. So I do my best to still stand in one position and stand forward.
They ever had full locomotion Walkabout?
What about it?
Did they ever add full locomotion to Walkabout Mini Golf?
Absolutely.
They did? Okay,
yeah, and I still don't.
Because I was like, why the fuck do you have joysticks if you don't have full locomotion?
I still don't use it. I find it actually easier to click around that world because Yeah, and actually, what I do mostly is just fly around, and that's been in there for a long time. So,
All right.
so anyway, Strata looks great, but again, just keep your expectations in check. Know what you're getting into because it's going to be just the arcade modes at launch. And it's funny too. I don't know if you did this, man. If you like look through the three modes: endless mode, time run mode, and arena mode, but the descriptions that they have about them do not feel all that different from each other. And I could read through them right now, but I'm not going to. I just feel like it's one of those things that like will sort of just it'll make a lot more sense once we're playing it for ourselves and be like, okay, how much different is this mode from this other mode? Because it's all sort of
It's all running across rooftops
and doing it as fast as you can
and shooting stuff.
Right, absolutely. So all right, man. Well, let's move on because as great as that news was, it was not the biggest news of the week, was it?
No, man. Moss Book 2, baby. Let's go. Oh, Moss Book 2 is coming this month.
Yeah.
March 31st. And I'm excited.
Yeah, it was, they prior to this when they revealed it, they said, I think they said it was coming in spring initially. And so there wasn't, they gave us a pretty good idea of when to expect it. And then, yeah, it didn't take very long, man. It's like, and this is literally as the beginning of spring. Spring starts in just a few days, and they did not mess around, man. They were like, "We're coming in spring. We're coming at the very start of spring."
Yeah.
But that's great, man, because it's we were sort of in this place where we're like, oh man, like what's the next big game? What's the next thing we're excited for? Whatever. And now we're just kind of getting smothered. Like, over the next 2 weeks, we're gonna get 4, hopefully, really decent games. And this, I feel like is sort of the culmination of all of it, right? It's like this. We know that Polyarch is going to give us a really, regardless of your thoughts on Moss, regardless of whether you're going to buy it or not, I think we can all agree that this is a talented studio that's going to deliver a very polished game, and I think that this is going to be the best one of the 4. So I'm
there. Yeah,
I'm getting to the
think
point
so
where I'm
too.
starting to get really excited about it because you guys probably know my thoughts. Like Moss is a really, really, really good game, but like I'm not in love with it like everyone else is. Like I rate it like a low 8, mid 8 kind of thing, and I feel like everyone else is like it's a 10, it's an 11.
No, it's a 9, man. It's a
Okay.
9 out of 10 at least.
Okay.
Even with it being kind of short, and we should discuss some things about this though. We'll
Okay.
jump into some of the stuff to preview that they mentioned in the preview. That's really, really cool. Some brand new details. There was a PlayStation Underground video. Yes, I made that for them, and they used it on their Sony channel. But Proud Dog is in the chat today. What's up, Proud Dog? And he wants to know any news on price. And I think I have a guess for what the price is.
Guess away.
I think it's going to be $30 again. It's about, this game takes a long time to make. I waited a long time for the first one.
Yeah.
Now, maybe there's a day one discount. That would be really cool. It would also be really awesome if there's like that day one theme. I still use the Moss theme on my PS4 Pro. But yeah, I think it's going to be $30 again because they said it's basically, I think you said actually in your video that it is 1.5 times the length of the original.
Yeah, but that's an interesting kind of way to put it, and I'm really so. I mean, shout out to Cooley Callahan, who was super gracious with his time and sat down with me and talked for 20, 30 minutes or whatever it was to Lou's review says shameless shelf plug AJ. I don't think Lou understands that you're joking and that you did not make this video for them. And that all AJ did as part of this exchange was steal the name of the channel from Sony.
No, I didn't steal anything. Shut up. It's their PlayStation Underground. I'm PSVR Underground. God, get out of here with that.
I fail to see the similarities.
I guess the Underground Atlanta stole it from PlayStation 2, huh? Or maybe PlayStation stole it from the Underground Atlanta.
Maybe.
There's plenty of things that are underground, Brian.
Like the Underground in London. Anyway, the point being, $30 actually seems like the right price point because honestly, I think it was it Pixel Ripped Their first game came out at one price point, and then their next game came out $5 less. And I really do, but they were sort of like the same length game. And I really do feel like that this is like, as the medium evolves and people are like, start reassessing what they think is the proper price point for things. I think that $30 for Moss, I mean, I don't know. It really depends on the person, because it is such high quality. It is so polished, and it's so beautiful. That even though it's a little bit on the short side, like, we've certainly paid $30 for less polished games, for less entertaining games, and these games always have amazing. The art is amazing, the soundtrack is amazing, the story is well told, and so. And so if it's $30 again, and that we actually get a couple extra hours out of it, I think that's the proper price point. I think they're going to be okay.
Yeah, I think it is a very much a quality over quantity kind of game, but I don't know. I got my money's worth out of it. This is the kind of game for the type of player that I am, the type of gamer. I like to stop and smell the roses. I like to interact with everything. Moss was my first platinum trophy. It took me, so some people were complaining about Moss on launch day that it was like 2 hours long. And, it's not that I was like stuck on the game. I just really liked soaking up the world. I think that's what makes it special. So it took me about 5 hours to beat it, because when I was playing through it, I was really taking my time. And I thought literally every scene, almost every single scene, I was like, okay, it's going to end here. Okay, it's going to end here. It's going to end here, because of how much I heard about that. But no, man, I am typically the kind of gamer that loves really long games. I put 200 hours into Zenith, 600 hours into No Man's Sky, but not every game has to be that length. And I think, and this game was, I thought, a wonderful story, and was a joy to play. And I paid so I paid $30 for the game. I also paid $25 for this mug because I really liked it. I paid $25 for this poster behind me because I like this game so much. So yeah, it kind of depends from player to player, but to me, it was worth every single penny. And like I said, it was also my first PSVR Platinum trophy, so it's a special game to me forever. It's a huge deal for me.
Yeah, I'm really happy that it's so special to you.
And they sent you a statue and not me, and look what happened. I hope I get a new statue. I hope I get a better the new statue that they have. There's a contest on Twitter. If you follow me on there at PSVR Underground, you can retweet their post and enter to win one of 6 Quill statues that they're giving away. So heads up on that. You're welcome.
Boy, I can't wait to make you jealous when mine shows up.
I'm up.
So anyway, I don't know. I think we might have buried the lead here. This game's coming out on March 31st. It's like right around the corner, man. This is next week. No, not next week. It's the week after next week. It's Friday. I'm sorry. And so the last 2 weeks of March are so jam-packed, and we're not in the second to last week yet. We're almost there, man. We're almost there. So March 31st, it's awesome, and and it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation VR, which is, again, I think, an interesting thing that happened because we don't have to go on and on about it. But I think it's pretty interesting that it happened. I don't see any real benefit for Polyarc to have it out on PlayStation VR first and exclusive for any amount of time, other than that they're still kind of a small team. And so, if Sony's paying the bills for a minute or two, then they can focus on one platform before they start porting it over. Again, another thing that Cooley said was, that this PlayStation VR is the lead platform, and then they're all going to take a break once the game comes out, and then they're going to come back and start porting to the other platforms. So we don't know how long that's exclusive for. How long was Moss Book 1 exclusive for? A year?
I think it was a year, yeah. And I'm like you said, I'm guessing the same deal.
Yeah. I'd be curious. I feel like 6 months is probably a little bit more accurate this time around, but who knows? It could be the same deal as last time. So one of the things that they talked about was how much bigger the environments are, which means that the diorama thing is still going on, but now when you enter a room and get to a certain place, the camera angle is actually going to switch, and so you're going to be able to see Moss from a different perspective see Quill from a different perspective, see the Moss world from a different perspective, however you want to fucking say it. So I'm really curious to see how well that's implemented because this caused a little bit of problems in Republic, but I think Moss is a little bit of a different type of game, so I don't see it being as big of an issue.
You think the diorama view will have an issue?
Because
or
of
the worlds because the levels being bigger?
Because of the multiple camera angles, yeah.
Multiple camera angles. Well, I mean,
I don't think it'll be an issue. I just think that, like that's something I'm a little bit curious about.
Yeah, because they are a little bit different because you don't actually jump around. Or did they say that? Did they say that you could jump around in one scene, or it's just a static camera, right? It's just a static angle.
Yes. I don't think you missed the whole conversation leading up to this, didn't you?
Dang it, man!
You weren't paying attention. It's okay. Let's move on. This time around, we got some new abilities though, and I think this is good. I think this is integral to my enjoyment personally of Moss Book 2. Quill's going to have new weapons, and the reader's going to have new abilities. You're going to be able to draw bridges, create bridges for her, create vines for her to climb. So she can now climb walls that have these vines on them.
Right. So they did say that one of the things that they've integrated into the game is they've made it a lot more interactive. That was something that they really liked about the first one, and they kind of doubled down on that. And they showed us one ability. And if you think I'm bad, man, the chat's still talking about bananas, okay? But there's a lot of new abilities in this game, and yeah, the one that they did show off in the little video preview was pretty cool looking, and it was like there's like vines and things you can interact with, and you can like grab some vines and connect them to each other, and then like flowers grow, and it makes a path for Quill to cross. So that'll be interesting. I assume that's going to be part of the puzzles that they're going to have in the game. That's going to be integrated into the puzzles. And it's not just like building a bridge, but there was also one where there was like vines on the side of a wall that you could like activate. They grow flowers, and Quill can climb up them, which I thought was really cool.
Yes, we all thought that was cool when I talked about it 2 minutes ago as well. You're this is
I'm trying, man.
It sounds like I'm giving you a hard time, but this is definitely the joke of the running joke of the show today.
Something's wrong with me. I don't know.
So anyway, one of
in my water, I tell you. Somebody put something in my water.
So one of the other that was me. I apologize. But the part of the abilities I think that make a bigger difference to me aren't really these, create new paths and do things and blah blah, like the stuff, just like they give you excuses to reach out and interact with the world. That's great, and I'm sure it's going to be fun and give you boopables. Yeah, like when Quill runs through the grass moves. When you reach in through the grass moves. Everything feels a little bit more boopable, which I do enjoy. But the thing that I like the most is when I was talking to Cooley, he was starting to explain how things worked and saying that, like, you'll see like little things on the ground and say, well, what does that mean? I don't know. And then you'll develop an ability later on in the game, and then you'll be like, wait a minute, can I use this ability to come back over here and like kind of open up this area and kind of see how it all works? And what they showed on this gameplay was like this hammer ability, right? So you can smash down the ground and access like this
hammer
path
looks
that now
so
moves.
Cool.
Yes, and so and so it becomes very much like a Metroidvania style exploration mechanic.
Yeah,
and I think this is kind of where they get away with the extra 1.5 times as long as the first game, because I guarantee you this game isn't much bigger than the first game, but they give you an excuse to like go backtrack and go see things that you've already seen and kind of slow the player down. So now it's not just going, in a straight line from place to place to place to place, and eventually you get to the end. Now it's sort of you're kind of coming and going and saying, wait, how is this ability usable somewhere else? Which I love, man. Metroidvanias, like I think that's just like when RPGs became part of every game in existence. I think Metroidvanias, that started to become a thing, and I'm so happy that it did.
It's interesting. By the way, that hammer looks freaking sweet. Yeah. I mean, Quill picks it up. So they said that there's a lot of statues in the game, and you'll notice a lot of statues in the game that have like a weapon, and a lot of the times that's a weapon you can obtain in the game, and they're really trying to keep it spoiler free. The hammer is really the only one they've shown us so far, but the way the hammer looks, and she's just like Quill's just like smashing these bugs left and right. It just looks awesome, and I like how they kind of have that weight. But a lot of the stuff with the game, we know that there's like this almost Metroidvania thing going about it, but there's something else to me, and maybe mechanically it's different from point and click adventures. But when I'm looking at this game, I get these heavy point and click adventure vibes for some reason. Is that just me?
I mean, I don't
Like
because
new I already played
mechanics. Because I already because I already played Moss Book 1. Maybe if I hadn't played Moss Book 1 and I looked at this for fresh, with fresh eyes, being like, oh,
Yeah.
I've never played this game before. What could it be? And I don't get that feeling because I know how 90% of it's going to play out, and then I just go, okay, this is an additional thing you can do. But so not for me, but I think I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, they mentioned that there's multiple weapons and abilities in the game, and that there's a lot of puzzles that you can solve using different weapons and abilities. So, yeah, it'll maybe make it a little bit more interesting. But yeah, they do some cool things the way they interact with, and I like the variety. I like what they're going for. The details of some of the stuff they're doing, the way you interact, the way it just adds to the immersion. And yeah, I thought this was a pretty immersive world to be in, a pretty immersive experience, and fun game to play. So.
Dan Kiefer says Metroidvania. I don't know. I think it's probably good to say
Light.
Good to say Metroidvania
elements.
light. Yeah, I think they
Yeah,
added some
yeah.
Metroidvania elements, but it's certainly not going to be
Right.
Symphony of the Night. So
Right.
so probably a good thing to clarify, Dan Kiefer. Thank you.
Yeah.
AJ, this game looks great. Excited
Yes.
that it's coming out so soon. And honestly, like and I'm going to replay the first game very very soon live on stream because I have said that like I'm not in love with it. I just think it's a really great polished game, and I would like to sort of just kind of blast through the entire thing in one sitting and sort of just take it all in and hang out with the
I'm in
cats
love
while I
with
do
this
it.
game. Did you ever play the Twilight Garden DLC?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was really good. So but I honestly didn't think puzzles were my favorite part of Moss. And so like, the Twilight Garden puzzle stuff was like, all right, I'm like, I don't know if I needed more of this, but I enjoyed what they did mechanically.
It's also beautiful. Yeah. What's your excitement level for Moss Book 2?
I'm at an 8. I'm at an 8, and I really hope that when I play it or even replay Moss again very soon on the channel, I hope that bumps up to a 9 or a 10. I want to be more excited about this.
10 out of 10
I had a feeling that was coming.
for my excitement level.
Nice. All right, now let me get a few tips here before we jump into 20 questions. Nihilist Ryan the Game Feline. First time I've screwed that up. $5 tip. Happy Friday and happy games finally releasing again month. We know PSVR is no green banana, so I'm happy when devs still support the old bird. Me too. Me too. Genetic Blasphemy, the GB Approve Dreams Cat with the $5 tip says, I don't know about Walkabout, but my Dreams Realms invites available at Discord have full locomotion BP, ice hockey / bouncy balls invites coming next week. Yeah, definitely get over on Discord and ask Genetic Blasphemy for an invitation to his Dreams creations. Because I think he's doing some really good stuff over there. I still have to play it for myself, but I did watch him play it on a stream recently.
Sounds pretty cool.
Agreed. We also got Dead Ringer with the $5 tip. Says, you can't buy a full pizza with this tip, but you can tip the delivery guy with it. 100%, man.
Nice.
Listen, man, no one's going to save the world on their own, but if we all contribute just a little bit, then we can tip people at least. We got Texatron, the Boopable Game Cat, right with the $3 tips. Did someone say boopable? Nice.
Boop. Texo. Oh, shit. I just smeared my... Okay.
Did you smear?
Let's see what happened.
You're all blurry. I can't see you. We got Professor Lilith with a $2 tip. Says the Sunday multiplayer is Zenith. That's perfect. 2 p.m. Eastern or Eastern Daylight Time, 6 p.m. GMT,
Yes.
which is some other time zone that I'm not in. We also got Firebird Old School with 100 Sekiro saying AJ is on his toes. Like it, but how much is it to make a 1-year voice chat in Discord without paying Patreon? Yeah, I don't know. Patreon is it, man. That's unfortunately because everything else is just like I can't keep track of other payments. People have been like, well, if I give you $100 every year, and I was like, dude, I can't. Like, there's a reason. Patreon is good and bad for many reasons, but really the reason it's good is because they make life so much easier on me, and so I appreciate it. But that's unfortunately how it has to go at the moment. Dude, and that brings us to what everyone's been waiting for, and that's PSVR 20 questions. I am the host this time around, so I've got a PlayStation VR game up here in my mind palace.
Oh, it's gone. He forgot the game, guys.
We're
screwed.
Already forgot. And you guys out there, along with AJ, have 20 yes or no questions to figure out.
And I wasn't paying attention. We're double screwed.
Yeah. God, I hope you pay attention to the answers of your own questions. I'm going to put 6 minutes up on the clock. Hopefully, you guys can figure out which PlayStation VR game I'm thinking of in 20 questions and 6 minutes. Ready?
Let's do this, cats.
Go.
Let's leave Friday on a high note. Does it have move support?
We're off and running. I don't think so. No, it does not.
Does not have move support.
No.
Does it
That's one.
have aim support?
No. That one was easy.
Okay. So it's DualShock only, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Did it come out within the first 2 years?
I apologize. Apparently, move controller optional. So
Okay.
I reversed my first question. Move control optional. Pretty sure I played this with DualShock.
Okay. Is it a shooter?
No.
Persistence doesn't have move option. He would know that too. Doesn't have aim support. Is it based off of popular IP?
No.
Okay, I went with yours defunct Ron Bro, so it can't be Voltron. Resident Evil doesn't have move support optional. Did I ask you if it came out within the first 2 years? You kind of cut me off. Did you answer that?
You didn't ask that question.
I did, but you cut me off.
Which four?
Did it? That was literally the
it
third
didn't come
question
out.
I
It
asked.
didn't come out in the first 2 years.
Okay, didn't come out within the first 2 years. So it can't be that. Come on, cats, give me some answers here. Give me some games. Is it? Okay, no, it wouldn't be O-Shape because, of course, the shape throwing game cat would say that. Is it sci-fi?
No. No. I think that would throw you off. No, it's not. Let's go with no. It's not. Let's be hard and fast about that. Not sci-fi.
Does it hold bananas? I think Ace Banana was a launch game, right?
Ace Banana was a launch game.
Okay. Okay. Was it ever on the top 25 list? Nice one, Texo.
No.
Never on the top 25 list. I don't like asking you if this game sucks because you never really answer that properly.
One time.
Dude, like three times at least.
I want timestamps because you're so full of shit.
Wraith.
Yeah, Wraith was the one. That was the one. You nailed it. Yep.
No, there was one the other day too.
You were just wasting your own time, my friend.
Anyways, you're wasting my time. Is it first person?
It is first person.
Are there vehicles in it that you control?
No.
No, you're kind of hesitant. Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't remember totally, but I would say no. There are things you can control, but yeah, I don't think vehicles is going to help.
What am I at here? Is it horror?
No, that's 10.
Okay. Let's see here. He would know. Well, he didn't. He played it with the DualShock 4. So are there dinosaurs, robots, or zombies in this?
The thing that's going to help you is no, but yes, it's super technically. So, but no, it's not going to help you.
Okay. Is this a comedy game?
I think there's some jokes in it, but I don't think we think of it as comedy.
Okay.
Maybe some funny, maybe some dialogue is.
Is it a puzzle
written.
game?
I would say that there's definitely some puzzles. There are some puzzles. Yeah.
I asked if it was a shooter, and he said no.
Right.
Is it cartoony?
It is cartoony.
It is cartoony. So it's cartoony. It's probably not good. It uses DualShock 4 only. Well, it doesn't use DualShock 4 only, but that's what most people would know it as. It is cartoony. Did it come out within the last 2 years?
I'm going to say yes. Yeah, where's my specific release date here? No, but just barely. So that's a big hint, I think, if you're good with that. It didn't come out in the last 2 years, but pretty damn close.
Is it a platformer?
No.
Marty. You said it did come out within the last 2 years?
Almost. So no, but very close. Okay. 22 seconds and 3 questions and a guess.
Oh, God. Okay. Has this developer made other PSVR games?
Yes.
Is it... let's see here. Is it multiplayer?
Yes. You're out of time.
Is it local multiplayer?
It could be.
It could be local multiplayer?
Yep. You gotta guess. Hurry up.
Okay, I have to guess here. Multiplayer, developers made other games. It used DualShock 4, but not the moves. Well, it has move support. Multiplayer. Windlands doesn't have multiplayer. Come on, guys, give me something good. I know I'm stumped here too. I'm going to say developer that has made a new game. I'm going to say I have no idea. Let me just say you guys give me nothing. Keep talking and nobody explodes.
Released on March 9th of 2020 by White Elk. Covert. Which you and I played through together.
Oh man, that's a freaking hard one.
One of us in VR and one of us on a
mobile phone.
Yep. It's made by the same team that made Eclipse Edge of Light, White Elk, who was a very recent choice of yours. So I thought that
copied me.
I kind of copied you a little bit. This one actually comes to me from Rypop. This was a Rypop suggestion. So if you want to blame anybody,
fuck you, Rypop.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This was a fun episode. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about today. I feel like the energy is coming back to PlayStation VR. There's like 4 games in the next 2 weeks that I'm excited to play and cover and all this stuff. And I can't wait to play a little bit of Moss Book 1. Guys, remember, I'm starting to kind of ramp up the Patreon exclusive content. I have someplace to be for the first like half of tomorrow, but when I come home, I really want to do like kind of a Patreon exclusive hangout. So I'm going to make it just kind of like a big open AMA where we just like, hang out and shoot the shit and talk. And my life's an open book, but if you guys want to learn any more, then I'm certainly here for you. So we'll do that like kind of midday tomorrow for the $5 plus Patreon supporters. And that's kind of it. Thank you guys so much. Everybody who supports the channel in all the different ways that they do. Remember, hashtag Gamecat in the comments. If you change your name to something the Gamecat, remember to come join us over on Discord. Thank you to everybody who participated during the show today, tipped during the show today, all the Patreon supporters, and everybody, of course, who sat back, watched the show, and didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there. We love you just as much. Let's cue the cat.
You're the cat, Brian, because I want to say have a wonderful weekend to the VR team, and thank you, man. To Funk Brown Bro, the Game Cat, good night to you as well. Says good sailing, yes, as well. GB Abbreviated Dreams Cat says dreams. Donatello inside this Game Cat. Thank you so much. He says smash the like, Tarzan. Proud Dog, cheers to you as well. Charlie Clark says, so you're starting an hour earlier now.
Nope.
Dan Kiefer, new rule, Brian has to pick a game that actually exists. Zombie 5150 is calling me out for stalling. Yes, I try to cheat all the time. You should know that by now.
He's a cheater. He's a cheater.
Rackbro says, you want a suggestion? Do Tumble VR. I think we might have it before.
I'm sure.
Johnny Rypop, the stray cat, go to hell. Texatron, the boopable game cat, I love you, man. You're cool. Ian Stanbridge.
Fuck you. You're
cool. A difficult game to guess and not a banana in sight. I know. Disappointing. Nick, the game cat. Ow! So who would have guessed that? Obviously, nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why Rypop chose it, which is why he sucks. Jazzy J, the Terra Mage Game Cat, says March 9th is my birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, happy belated. Jeez, like
Happy
fucking
belated
9
birthday.
days ago.
Aperto my bomb, the game gato says, how many bombs does AJ get to boom? As many as I want, okay?
That's pretty
Hector,
funny.
Robles, Neon Groove. Oh, wait, did Neon Groove
What?
guess it? No, I think he guessed that late. He guessed that late. Bremen 1973, thank you so much. Proud Dog, thank you. So Game by Reggie, Zach Lightning, Touring Carts, that was last week. Not Pavo says I expected to die. Braxbro, oh nice. Okay. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you later.
Wow.